out there. I am Keita Adewale, and thank you so much for joining us for My Sister's Couch, a place where you can come and share your testimonies and share what God has done for you and where the Lord has brought you from, and give glory and honor and praise to Him. So My Sister's Couch, this is for conversation. The O is for openness. The U is for understanding. The C is that we're Christ-centered. And then the H is that we bring help, hope, and healing. Make sure you like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, and begin to share My Sister's Couch. So, this is the first time with My Sister's Couch. We just decided to continue to hang out a little bit and just sort of show them in their habitat of having a meal together. Sam and Leslie James, or Samuel and Leslie.
You remember when you kept calling Sam James?
I did. You remember Sam? Sam don't remember.
I remember. I was just used to it.
Okay.
Military, that's all you did.
Oh, by the last name. Now, everybody knows I'm not that technologically savvy, so I'm going to need Leslie's help to make this video shrink to the size. Like, Leslie, make that fit. Make it
Fit what?
so I can get both of y'all in there together.
You just need to turn it sideways.
Oh, okay.
That's what you get. You get on video, you get on video.
There we are.
They're going to be like, what happened to that?
Yeah, it's wrapped up. It's covered up. We ain't gonna show. We don't want to show that look, the hair. All right, so this is just a brief look. Our brothers and sisters, as we just wanted to continue in our fellowship of our earlier conversation, and you just still continue to learn about couples and dates and ups and downs and what they go through, and where they are today still again is still a great testimony. Why are you looking like that, Leslie? It's still a great testimony. And I've never really fellowshiped with them together. It has always been just Leslie by herself. So this is really like the first time, other than their wedding, that I've been able to actually fellowship with them together. And actually, Sam has a really great sense of humor. He does. You quiet now, Sam?
Always quiet.
As soon as you turn that camera on, yeah.
Yeah. He gets in his mode, down in Leslie. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Always like that.
Mm-hmm. So, Sam, tell me, how long did you say it took you to get your master's degree?
Oh, about 4 years.
All right. And so, of course, you and Leslie were a couple for how many years before you actually got married?
We was on and off.
For about 2 years. So, how supportive was she during that time?
She wasn't. She kept distracting me, wouldn't let me do my work. Oh, I mean...
Live. The live. I supported
She was
him.
very supportive.
Okay.
She tried to keep me focused when I didn't feel like doing my work, which is quite often.
I did some of his homework.
You did?
Now you know I did some of your homework.
Yes, dear.
Oh, he goes something.
Mm-hmm.
Sam, I ain't do none of your homework.
Yes, dear.
I did some. Like the discussion question.
Oh, yeah. You
Oh,
did
yeah.
the discussion question.
Okay.
Hey. That's all right. It's his degree, but part of it belongs to me.
So, have y'all ever had a time where you have that I just want to prove them wrong moment
Oh, yeah.
for all the naysayers? And
Definitely, all the time.
Well, it's like Pastor Blunt always say, you can't have two different people and not have differences. You know? So when you get married, now it's a matter of trying to blend those differences together to bring the best out of each other.
Mm-hmm.
But the process of getting there is a process.
That's the key, a process.
Matter of fact, we just called Pastor Blunt the other day to start our marriage counseling session.
Awesome. Nice.
So,
Nice.
yeah, marriage is not what I thought it was going to be. But I enjoy this.
What did you think it was going to be?
You know,
Rainbows and roses.
no.
What you thought it was going to be?
I don't know. I guess I thought I'm gonna be in. I had this fantasy. Yeah, I guess I did think it was roses. I had this fantasy of getting up every morning, making breakfast, sitting down at the table together, eating breakfast, and you know, especially since he's retired, I thought it was gonna be. You know, but listen, I'm still rat racing. So
And life happens and you realize it's not as easy as you thought.
it's not. Marriage is take work.
And then when you have two different people who have two different mentalities, if you don't discuss those two different mentalities, that's really where the issues come. Because as we talked about this one time before, we can have one word, say the word stupid. You know, for me, it might not be a big deal, just a, you know, comical word. But for her, it might be very offensive. So that's where the communication comes in. I'm thinking, well, why in the world are you growing up so much? Why are you getting up so upset? And this, that, and other. And she's like, well, how in the world could you say that to me? And why are you so demeaning me? And whole process. And we get stubborn as people. And when we get stubborn, we don't communicate. We just stay in our feelings. So until we learn to communicate, then we can start understanding. Not understanding to prove the other person wrong, but understanding to understand what that person's point of view is and how they see it.
That's true. Do you know love is a choice? And we have to make the choice every day to love the people that we love. Do you ever find it difficult to make that choice every day about each other?
Absolutely.
About
I know I'm not the easiest person to work along with. I told her from day one.
I don't have no difficulty in choosing to love him. Like, I don't have no difficulty in it. But see, that's the difference between he and I, because like we can have an argument, right? And I can go right into the kitchen and go back right into my routine, fixing him something to eat, and he's looking at me.
You don't hold it.
Why are you
What's going on?
fixing me food? What did you do to this? You know. But him, if he mad, listen, I might not get my door open. He might not cuddle me like.
So then he's conditional. He's a conditional one.
I try to tell him.
I'm not talking. But
He
that
has
goes
to
back
get out
to
of his feelings.
that goes
before,
back to our different experiences that we've had. Whereas you get conditioned doing things a certain way. Though we try not to lump people together, in certain ways it still comes up. And until you recognize that and willingly try to change it, it is what it is.
Okay. What about expectations? Did you all have to, okay, so I know in marriage we have to learn how to accept the person as they are. You know, you accept them, but at the same time, it's just like with Christ. You know, he accepts us and meets us where we are, but we don't stay there because he helps us, he grows us, he matures us, right, in the word and, you know, with our experience with him. So now, was it hard to accept each other as you were, or did you have unrealistic, you think, expectations, which can lead to a lot of issues in marriage when you have unrealistic expectations? When you want that person to be who you dreamt of and wanted them to be, instead of who they really are, marrying them for who they are, accepting them for who they are.
Well, that's one of the issues that we have is wanting that person to be what we see in them. You know, he sees me as myself. However, he sees me as also as what he knows I can be, like fully. And sometimes I feel like he wants me to be there already. Like, just know stuff without him telling me, you know. And so with me, I want
a mind reader. He wants you to be his mind reader.
He wants me to, you know, it's like fast forward to 20 years in. Fast forward to like 20 years in and know everything. You know how couples has been together for years.
Right.
Just, you know,
now they've grown to know each other. Like the Bible say, learn of me. You know, we have to, and then he loves you according to the knowledge that he has learned about you.
Yeah.
But it takes still time because we're forever evolving, growing
I think Pastor Blunt put it beautifully. We heard him the other day. He said that when women get married, they expect to change the man. When men get married, they expect the woman to stay the same. Which I see is very true. Because a lot of times men, once we see how you are, we expect you to stay that way and continue to do those same things, continue to be in that way. But life changes, so that's not always the case. And then when a woman thinks she's going to change a man, men automatically rebel against that. And so you can't tell me what to do. Even though they may not necessarily be what they're trying to do in their own way, they're trying to help improve him, but he can't see that.
That's really good. That's a real good observation.
Yeah. I mean, Sam is a manly man, you know, like a man's man. And I am a woman that was raised by independent women. And sometimes we have differences in trying to balance where I'm trying to help, but it's too much for him.
It comes across where it's like you're trying to take over.
Do you all have, or do you see the need or importance of having spiritual mentors that are couples, as you know, a married couple, to have a spiritual couple grounded to help mentor you?
Yeah, we need them.
Not necessarily a pastor per se, but a couple that can help hold you all accountable, to help you work through issues.
That's one thing that I was trying to get together before I ended up getting out of the singles ministry, to have like a transitioning type of ministry where a single person would, you know, become friends with a married couple, and when their time came, when they became engaged, and that married couple would be able to help in their transition into being married, you know. So it's very important to have somebody that you can trust that's been in your shoes, been where you are, to help you along. But
Because we're all people. And so, being people, we make people mistakes. So, for me, I want people in my life that are going to be real. They're going to tell me when I'm messing up, when I'm doing okay, maybe I'm seeing something a little bit different. And at the same time, keeping God in the mix and bringing it back to, well, what the Word says. Not what they say, what they say, but what does the Word say?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you might be right about this topic. However, if we treat a person like God, how we treat God.
Mm-hmm.
We don't talk to God every day.
Mm-hmm.
We don't ask God like we're supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to learn to show the other person grace.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of things because we want grace.
Yeah, that's good. Making God the importance of making God the ultimate authority, His word, the ultimate authority that goes beyond feelings and emotions, but taking it right back to biblical basics.
Because it's hard to talk to somebody that is always talking about God.
Mm-hmm.
And so therefore, it makes you feel like you'll never measure up.
Mm-hmm.
And you can never do anything right.
Mm-hmm.
So there has to be a balance in there.
Mm-hmm.
Because, most of the time when you get couples and they're trying to talk to you or give you advice or whatever, people are there, they're just telling you, what you should have done. No one wants to share their experience.
Mm-hmm.
But if someone shares their experience, then it gives you hope when you're having that rough time
One of those
in your
issues.
relationship. You'll understand, okay, you looking at this perfect couple that you think are so perfect, and then you not knowing like what they really been through. Not saying that people have to divulge all of their personal and details and stuff, but just let me know that it's hard. Like when me and Sam, we have some rough days. Like I said, we just talked to Pastor Brent the other day to be like, but we need to come in and start having the sessions like now. Because some days it feels like, what in the world is going on?
Mm-hmm.
And I know we just started, but I feel like, okay, when you talked about what I thought marriage was going to be, I really didn't think that it would be us having arguments and stuff. I don't know why I thought that you got married and then that wedding bliss just took away all of that stuff. Mm-hmm. It didn't. Mm-hmm. We had our wedding day and it was beautiful. However, the next day, it didn't feel like the wedding day. I still felt happy, newlywed, all excited, but it was like, okay, well now, okay, it's time to go back, cleaning up, cooking, take care of mommy, you know what I'm saying? And so, like, you have days where it's like, this is supposed to be, like you said, rainbows and dreams and stuff, but it's not like it. Every day you have to wake up and work hard on to stay together and love that person unconditionally and show them love and please God, you have to do that. If you don't make an effort to wake up every morning and be like, I remember Pastor Brown said,
Do y'all need hot chicken?
Not yet. We're
I
still
want some
eating.
more of this mixed soup.
That one? Okay.
Yeah. He said you have to wake up in the morning and make the person fall in love with you
Every day, all over again.
all over again. So that takes effort, and it's just like doing exercise or living a healthy lifestyle. Like some mornings you wake up and you don't want to eat no salad, you don't want to go walking, you don't want to do this. You just whatever. And some days you all in. Is you wake up. You got the healthy breakfast, you go walking and all that stuff. So that's how the marriage is. Some mornings I wake up and it's, good morning, husband. Some mornings you wake up and my kids be like this. It don't start off right, but I know that I love him, I chose him, I want to be with him for the rest of my life, and that's just how it is. Thank you.
Yeah, so what I'm hearing is you all went from making a wedding to making a marriage. So you planned a wedding and you knew that marriage was work, and now you're making marriage.
Yeah.
You are making marriage now.
It's
Planning.
an everyday thing, man. I don't want nobody to be confused about marriage when they see us on Facebook and our pictures and stuff, and we be looking so cute and happy. We are happy. I'm happy that I'm married to him. this is my forever husband. I ain't going nowhere, and he ain't going nowhere.
All right, then.
And so that's just what it is.
I think I heard Pastor T.D. Jakes say that one time. He said him and his wife, before they got married, they just made a commitment. I don't care what goes on, how we see ourselves growing old on the front porch, walking in our rocking chairs with false teeth, taking them out. We not going nowhere, anywhere, regardless of what it happens, because they just sort of looked at it going back to God, basically, and keeping God in their marriage. Whatever they had to endure, as long as they had God, they just felt like they could make it. It wasn't worth them.
That's the commitment you have to make, because when you go into it and you start already looking for an exit strategy, well, I need to put this aside just in case, or well, I ain't got to be here, I can be somewhere else, or I'm not going to deal with this, that, and the other, I can just be sad, all bad, all by myself. When you start looking for those reasons, and even if you're not cognitively looking for a reason, just by putting it in the universe, you're now focusing more negative than more positive. And as long as we stay focused on the negative, we're going to find negative. I don't trust this person. I know they're up to something. I don't trust this person. Something just don't seem right. Too busy focused on the negative. And that's where the communication comes in. And it's not just communicating how you feel, but it's the other person also being receptive to what you're saying and kind of sort of taking themselves out of it to understand what the person is saying. So they can explain to the person, no, it's not like this. Didn't mean to make you feel this way, but this is what was going on. But a lot of times, the person delivering it gets frustrated because they're already in that emotion. The person receiving is offended. How dare you think whatever? No communication. Everybody wants to be right.
And not about what's right. And it's not about who's right. It's about what's right.
Whereas you might be used to going off by yourself in your past relationship. In this relationship, I don't necessarily want you going off by yourself all the time. I need to know where you at. Or, okay, maybe now I'm asking too much because you are used to it. So, okay, got it. So there's that balance from the past and the present. So it can't be all one way, it can't be all the other. There has to be a middle ground for the relationship you're in now. Not your relationships from the past, not from the relationship you want it to be. But from where you're at now with this other flawed person that's just as flawed as you are, how do we even this out?
That's really good. I want to ask you before we get ready to go. Sam, you are older than Leslie. How many years older?
10.
Okay. So you're 10 years older than Leslie.
I look like I'm 20.
You're so silly. You're older than Leslie. So do you think in choosing her that you were expecting her? I don't know what her maturity level was like for you and what you were used to in your age group of women maybe that you were dating or had been involved with. Did she measure up as far as age-wise, maturity? Well, not age, because age isn't indicative of experience or, maturity. But her maturity level, was it standard for you?
Her mindset it did exceed expectations because you have your own preconceived notions. You think, somebody's 10 years younger than me, they're in a different generation. They want to act this way, that way, that they're not going to believe in doing this stuff. And so that was completely opposite to me because I never wanted anybody that much younger than me for those exact reasons. Outside of my generation, they're not going to be able to really relate to anything I say. I'm 18, she's 8. I'm just saving the world, she's still playing with Barbies.
Exactly. Okay.
But her groundedness and her mindset definitely surprised me, which I was glad for that. Yeah. So I can still, because she has her own experiences, which I tell her all the time. Yeah, I'm older than you. Yeah, I might have more experience in certain areas, but you have a lot of experience now.
Yeah.
So I'm not here sitting here thinking that I know everything and you know nothing. That's not true. I know what I have experienced. You know what you have experienced. So we have to learn to feed off of each other in those different times, I have to listen to her in the areas, I can't tell her about cooking. And I went through half a semester cooking class. But I can't tell her about cooking because she knows how to cook. She's doing them just like we was talking about earlier. 30 minutes, whip up the whole meal.
Absolutely.
I don't see nothing in there but milk and cereal.
Yeah, and she'll come out there making crumb cakes with it. She'll crunch up cornflakes and make some, throw it in the oven, right?
Like,
exactly.
Where did you go to the grocery store? So, and at the same time, I work with my hands a lot. So, her trying to tell me what to do when it comes to fixing stuff or working on stuff might not be as smart either. I can tell her some stuff about cooking that might be helpful. She can tell me some stuff about fixing stuff that might be helpful. So it's not that you just shut that person out. If you have more experience in the area, you're still open to listening, open to ideas. But stay in your lane.
Gotcha.
And then you blend that, mix that, so you two can get along better. That's what it's all about, just having peace at the end of the day. Because if one has peace, they always say happy wife, happy life. However, if the husband ain't happy, you still gonna have issues.
Yeah.
Because if the husband ain't happy, then the wife ain't gonna be happy. So, yeah.
All right, honey. I was telling Keita when we first got here, I was like, you remember the last time we were sitting in this? We was having issues in our relationship while we was dating, and we came and sat right here, and had same booth, same exact booth. We came and sat here and sat down with a couple from the church to try to get them to help us, navigate our way through this thing, and we broke up after that. Yeah, that was our last breakup. After this, we broke up. It was like a couple days after we had that meeting with them, and we was just like, nah.
And I think for me, I had to come to the realization, which I already knew, nobody's perfect. But if you have somebody, even if they're not doing it exactly how you want it done, but they're willing to listen, they're willing to try to change or try to hear what you say, that speaks volumes. You gotta appreciate that. And so we know when we both get hot-headed, ain't nobody listening.